All right, I'm with Colonel Owens from the Lee County Sheriff's Department, and we are talking about Miranda rights today, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So many times people ask us, or they make the statement that you didn't read my rights when they're arrested or whatever. The thing about that is the whole Miranda thing was a landmark case, and we have to talk about when we can interview someone or talk to someone about the crime that they were involved with or whatever. Well, television and movies and things have actually trained people to think a certain way. Right. So they think that immediately, as soon as you put the handcuffs on them or whatever else, that you have to read a Miranda. Well, that's not true. The only time we have to read Miranda to someone is if we're actually going to talk to them about their particular case or what they're being arrested for or something like that. So just because the handcuffs come out and go on doesn't mean we've got to read Miranda to them or advise them what their Miranda rights are. And so many times people say, well, I know what my rights are, and all right, well, what are they? Well, I don't know, but you're supposed to tell me. Right. So that's a training session that actually the law enforcement officers go through in the police academy as they talk about Miranda, and they talk about the case that led up to Miranda and why that was actually is something that we have to do now. But like I said, the people, television has trained people so many times, the criminals, they have trained the criminals to think that just because the handcuffs come out and they get arrested for something, you can't say nothing. You can't even ask me my name. Well, that's not true either. But Miranda is something that does help. There's been some other recent things that have come out in the high courts have come out and said some other things recently in Miranda and what we can and can't do with Miranda and things like that. So it's changed a little bit, but the whole concept of it from the original case that came out is still basically the same. In other words, you don't have to read Miranda unless you're actually going to engage them in conversation about their particular case and ask them pertinent questions which could be used in the prosecution.
I got you.
So anything else that they say is not really, you don't have to advise them on Miranda if you're asking them what's your address, what's your name, and all that kind of stuff. So movies have trained people to think a certain way about that.
All right, interesting stuff. We'll talk more with you in just a couple minutes. Going to a break now. More Good Day in your third hour to come right after this. All right, welcome back. We're talking once again with Colonel Owens from the Lee County Sheriff's Department. And of course, it is that time of year when folks get out on the roads. They're headed to their destinations for Christmas and the holidays and such. What can folks do if they're going to be leaving their home for a substantial amount of time, a few days? Should they just leave lights on? Should they talk to their neighbors, or what else can they do to maybe protect their home, while they're gone?
Yeah, it's a very good idea to at least talk with your neighbors and let them know, when you're going to be gone, how long you're going to be gone. Maybe they can pick up your mail or a paper that you have left there or something, because a lot of times the criminals, they're going to look for those kind of things. Right. You probably also want to have a light left on of some kind, or get you a timer system that you can plug in and let the timer run the lights for you or whatever. Especially if you're going to leave a pet or something at home. Get someone to look after that pet for you, at least come by and give them water and make sure they're okay and everything. And one thing that we do at the Sheriff's Office in Lee County, and a lot of law enforcement agencies do this, you can actually call and ask for a watch card to be put on your house. So what happens is while the officers out on patrol, they will come by and they'll look at your house, shine a spotlight on it. Just generally make sure that everything seems to be okay around your house while you're gone. It gives you some sense of comfort that somebody will actually be putting eyes on your house besides your neighbors. Give them specific information when you call, what vehicles are supposed to be there, what are not. If you've got a maid that comes by, or you have somebody comes by to check your mail or take care of your pet or something, or plants or something like that for you, that's important information, because last thing we need to do is be reading somebody their Miranda because they're out there checking on your house for you. But that is something that we offer in Lee County. And like I say, most law enforcement agencies do that as well.
Right.
The deputies on a nightly basis have watch cards and places that they have to go by and check.
Right.
And check on throughout the year, not just during the holiday season, but all the time throughout the year. They go by and check on not only the businesses but homes and things like that, because it is the time of year when people are unfortunately they're out breaking into houses and
right.
stealing things and like that. So to have an extra set of eyes on your house while somebody's out riding around, I mean, we got to be out there riding around anyway,
right.
so we might as well be looking for something.
Yeah.
So give us an opportunity to do that. Call and let us know when you're leaving. Give us a time frame. We're leaving this day, coming back on this day. This should be happening. This should not be happening.
Right.
These people should be there, should not be there. Our vehicles should or should not be in our yard or driveway or whatever.
All right. Well, good information. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Absolutely.
We're going to go to a break now. More Good Day to continue right after this.